got me going. It's episode 14. We back, we bad, we know it. Let's throw it some money around.
Mm-hmm.
It's snowing. It literally is outside currently. But anyway, welcome back to Squeeze the Juice. The boys are back in town, and we are coming around. It was quite a weekend in sports, closing the NFL season, national championship.
Lots of sports going on, obviously. I mean, that's how it is every weekend, it feels like. But last weekend especially, I mean, an awesome Week 18, obviously. Some results that we would have liked to see happen didn't happen pertaining to the Seahawks and Rams, but a great Sunday night game, a national championship game that I wasn't surprised by, and overall, a nice table setter for what should be a very fun, very entertaining, and very wild postseason in the NFL, starting this weekend, of course, with the wild card weekend. Do you want to run it down from last week and
run it down?
Kind of let the people know what we did. We had a pretty good week last week.
Yeah, we did. Not too bad.
No, not too bad at all. So I was 5-2 last week. If you count my Michigan State,
which we are, because he declared it.
I declared it on the pod. I said, I don't care what the spread is. Take MSU. It ended up being MSU minus 4.5. They won by 6, so that is a dub for me. First NCAA basketball win on the pod. It feels good. Feels good to break it in.
That is a foreshadow of the future right there.
Little teaser.
Yes,
all right,
absolutely.
So counting that, I was 5-2. Overall, my college record now 24-17. Just lumping the basketball in with the football there. So +7 in college. NFL now up to 34-30-2. Overall, I'm sitting at 58-47-2, up 11. Feeling good about myself. Justin, meanwhile, getting back in the positive win column here. 5-1 last week.
Let's go, baby.
Absolutely dominating. 16-22 to finish out the college football season. We'll see those numbers rise with basketball, hopefully. NFL, 35-28-2, though. My man's is up 7 on the NFL, really nailing those games.
Yeah,
overall,
baby.
51-50-2, so back over 500 overall. That's what we love to see. Just talked about it, MSU minus 4.5. I hit that. That was your basketball dub.
You like that? You like that?
It was good to get a win over Hunter Dickinson and those annoying Wolverines. I keep talking, keep yapping. Izzo's going to Izzo. It was great to see that.
He's the
win
better
in Brazil
coach
in
all
December.
day.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah. National championship, though.
Woo!
Georgia, the Dogs winning 65-7. That's obviously the biggest blowout in national championship history.
I didn't even bother to watch.
We were on Dogs minus 12.5, and that was sitting very comfortably after the first quarter. Like, it was just one of those games where, like, you kind of knew maybe 5 minutes into the game, we got this. Like, and it was so funny because everyone was on TCU, and then as soon as you see the game start out, you're like, they have no chance.
It's over. It was over. It was over from before they even walked in the stadium. If you ever heard any part of Kirby Smart's speech pre-game, it's insane. That dude, I've never heard a coach swear more than that, but he was like, you guys are going to show up. And he was just going off about that. They're going to run through a wall. They're just going to destroy him. And I mean, listen to it, because that man spoke what happened before. He predicted what was about to happen. He knew.
That was the easiest bet, I think, of our lives. I don't think anything can get better than that. On to the NFL, though, an important Week 18. Starting with our first game, the most important game I said on the schedule was Texans at Colts. And the Texans on 4th and 20 with nothing to play for.
And everything to gain
and
from a loss.
Everything to lose. Davis Mills with the Hail Mary touchdown because the Colts defender can't pick it off, can't defend it. And then they go for 2. Lovie Smith knows he's getting fired. He says, I'm out. I'm going for 2, and they get it. They win 32-31. I was on Colts minus 2.5. I had that game, and then it slipped from my fingers. Texans lose the number 1 pick, and Justin said something crazy is going to happen.
I told y'all, call me crazy, but I took the Texans, and some crazy things happened. It was like that time I took the Jets against those Bills, man. Evan was beefing. They didn't even need to do anything, and just for giggles, they kicked a field goal even when they were gonna lose.
I've had a lot of those heartbreakers lately. I don't know what's been going on, but
I
whatever.
was laughing so hard. And the
Texans
Texans
deserve
were
it.
up early. I'm like, okay, they're about to sell. They had to play good, and now they're selling quick.
I mean, they were
then-
down by 7. It was 31-24, and then that miracle play happens. I mean, it was just a crazy game. And look, the Colts, they're now in a good position to trade up. Like I said last week, I said if they lose this game, watch them trade up to get number 1. And Houston, they're just stupid. You don't win that game. They're so stupid. Now, if a team trades up to get that number 1 pick from Chicago, they're not taking the number 1 quarterback on their board potentially. So we'll see how it goes. It doesn't matter.
It's especially if assuming, but right now, Stroud might be staying. If you don't think Will Levis is your guy, it's like
Right.
it's young or nothing, right? For the Texans.
That's what it feels like. I mean, it doesn't matter right now. We're obviously going to get into the draft, but we got playoffs first. But that game was easily the most impactful on, I think, the franchise for years to come, potentially.
In
It
the
has
large
that
scale.
potential. Game 2 on our slate, though, Browns at Steelers. Steelers, you knew Mike Tomlin had it in them.
Mm-hmm.
You knew this team was going to finish 9-8, and they win by 14. That was a layup, honestly. I have nothing else to say. Just shout out to Mike Tomlin, continues to get it done.
We knew.
Just a gutsy coach and knows how to get his team above 500 every single year. Pats at Bills. 2 return touchdowns. I should have taken the Bills. I'm such an idiot. Mac Jones, 3 interceptions. It's just, it's so frustrating, and just, I have little patience for the Patriots right now. I'm growing very apathetic of this team. Matt Patricia's gone, though. They've begun their new OC search.
Is that confirmed?
It's confirmed.
Okay,
so there's
because
some good things to look.
people everywhere talking about it.
No, he's gone.
that he needs to leave.
There's good things hopefully coming to us in the future, but Patriots +7, we were both on it. We were wrong. It's okay.
We had to trust our guys. We wanted to have faith in our boys, but the Bills
It was
coming back
close.
after what happened.
It was close for a good chunk of the game. They
Yeah.
just turned the ball over, didn't capitalize, and
The returns, man.
yeah, the special teams have just been awful for the Patriots all year long. Just so uncharacteristic. Game 4, Rams at Seahawks. Seahawks winning by 3 in overtime. We were both
Sold.
on Rams +6. It felt like a really good bet for the entirety of the game. There was a moment when we got to overtime, I was like, oh crap, are they going to score a touchdown? I don't, because obviously if they score a touchdown, we push, or I don't think they kick the extra point. So we would have just pushed. But I'm glad we covered that one at least. I mean, it
I
sucks
know,
that
it
the
was.
Lions,
Especially the way, we'll get into
Yeah.
it ended for
it sucked that the Seahawks won, but I'm glad we covered if it was any consolation prize. And then, of course, we get to the Sunday night thriller. Lions 20-16 over over the Packers. Lions +4.5. We were both on it. Just everyone was on the Packers. Everyone was like, "This is Aaron Rodgers' game. It's
He's that
his
guy."
coronation. It's a celebration of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers getting into the postseason." Lambeau Field Sunday night. Dan Campbell, Jared Goff in that offense had other things to say. And shout out Kirby Joseph, man. He
is
owns Aaron Rodgers. That's his son right there, Kirby Joseph. What a story he's been all rookie season. And Aiden Hutchinson stepped up. Just the rookies have been on it all season long. You just love to see that positive youth coming in and making a big, big difference in a game that, let's call it what it is. It was Lions' de facto playoff game. Like, we're not going to see them this weekend, but this was their playoff game. They treat it like a playoff game. Green Bay treated it like they already had won. And that's the difference between the Lions and the Packers right now, is one team is hungry, one team is fighting for their lives, or at least it feels like they have to fight for their lives every single week, and the other team feels entitled. And that's why the Lions won.
Everything about that Lions game was great. A win to close the season, a win against the Packers at Lambeau, keeping the Packers out of the playoffs, and it's up from here. Shout out Brad Holmes for the draft picks, though. Brilliant man in these picks.
I've been saying it since last season. Excuse me.
He's getting choked up.
I'm about to cry. Brad Holmes has been doing an unreal job with this team. I loved the draft class from last year because a lot of people were, I don't want to say skeptical, but maybe a little critical of the Penei Sewell pick at first. They said, we like the player and we know he's going to be a really good tackle, but do you go Justin Fields? Do you go Micah Parsons? And this was before we knew what Micah Parsons was and we knew what Fields was. Like, these were conversations being had. I said Penei Sewell is easily the best pick because what you have right now is a good offensive line. You can have a great offensive line with a guy like this, and now you're seeing it. Like, Jared Goff looks like a Pro Bowl level quarterback, one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFC because of this offensive line. And that's because of the investment Brad Holmes has made. And now you're seeing him insulate Jared Goff with guys like Amon St. Brown, absolute steal in the 4th round. Jamison Williams is definitely, like, you can see, even on the flea flicker that got called back, no one can touch him.
He's gone.
He is gone. And that chemistry with Goff is a chemistry quarterback. He needs to have a rhythm with guys. That's why you've seen success with Amon St. Brown. That's why you've seen success with Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds. DJ Chark was slow to get off. Now he's absolutely had a really good, positive second half. This team has a vision. It has a nucleus that's really young and really fun to watch. And Brad Holmes is really the guy to credit for that. So
Absolutely.
unreal job by him. And how about that coaching staff too? They don't get enough credit.
Mm-mm.
Dan Campbell at 1-6. This team could have folded. This team could have been in the gutter. They just kept with it. They stuck by their process, and Dan Campbell just has a way of getting his guys to believe in a way that no other coach can right now.
Absolutely. Shout out Jamal Williams.
Jay Swag Daddy, first Swag Kazakage. Just unreal, man.
Leader of the hidden village of the Dean.
17 rushing touchdowns. Who would have thought? That's more than he's had in his entire career.
Breaking Barry
Sanders'
single season record.
He just
Or
played
tie?
great.
I don't know.
No, he broke it.
Broke it? That's what I
Yep.
thought.
So just an unreal season for the Lions. Finishing 9-8. Just couldn't be more proud of this team. And now the bar is set. They've been saying it. They've been talking about it. It's NFC North at a minimum, I think, for them next year. I expect them to win it. I'll be betting them to win the NFC North, and you can mark that down as soon as those odds come out. That'll be on the slate. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure. I'll make note.
We're the truth.
And then, I mean, I've been saying it kind of in my head to myself. This is a top 3 team in the NFC next year for sure. Top 3.
I believe it.
They are a Super Bowl contender if they make the right moves this offseason. They still got to
Absolutely.
make those moves, but they have the right pieces. They can be a Super Bowl contender. That is, look, the trajectory is fast in the NFL. It's not like the NBA. It's not baby steps in the NFL. The Lions went from 3-13-1 to almost being a wild card team. The Jaguars went from 3-13 or 3-14 to division winner. Like
9-8.
it's not
It's unfortunate the Titans crumbled, but
right. But it's just not baby steps. You know, it's not. We're gonna have like in the NBA, 35 wins, 44 wins, 49 wins, 56 wins. You know, it's not like that. In the
can
NFL,
flip.
it's very sporadic when it comes to where you stand year to year. I expect this team to be in the mix for the Super Bowl next year. I do, and that's just not me being a fan. That's like objectively, if you look at the NFC as a whole, they have that potential.
you're not wrong, man. You got the Bears, the rebuild, the Packers, self-destruction, Viking, frauds, Lions, the truth.
That's just the NFC North. You look at the whole picture.
I know. That's what I'm just talking.
Yeah,
Straight
I mean,
up. That's
like-
like the North.
Because you got, I mean,
Who else you got? You know the NFC is crumbled compared
I
to
mean,
the AFC.
do you expect Tampa Bay to be back? No, I don't think so.
Right now, it's a healthy Niners and the Eagles.
That's what
it.
I'm saying. I mean, Carolina, no quarterback. They're probably going to draft a rookie. They're not ready. Atlanta, they need a quarterback. They're not ready. I mean, the Saints, they're
Where are they?
They
don't know where they're
in
going.
hell right now. I mean, that's just the NFC South. You talk about the NFC East. I mean, you got Philly and Dallas, sure, but the Giants. I mean,
Back and forth.
we
More
don't
than
know
we
about them.
expected.
The
We didn't know.
Commanders are kind of one of those middling teams. I mean, NFC West, the Rams might be back. We'll see. I doubt it.
McVay and Stafford are committing to next year, but we'll see how that
They're
goes.
they're not very deep offensive line issues. It's going to take
They
a
have
lot
no
more
picks.
investment, no picks. I mean, the Niners, we both think they're going to be back. The Cardinals are probably going to be without Kyler Murray for a while. And do you expect the same success that Geno Smith had this year?
No.
No. So there's a real window, just looking at it right now, for the Lions to make some moves next season. But that's about all we can talk about for the Lions. It was just, it's so energizing and refreshing to see this team.
Win.
Overall, though, I'm 58, 47, and 2. Justin's 51, 50, and 2. We're on to episode 14 here, on to our picks. It's playoff time. Let's get it underway.
NFL wildcard weekend. We're going to roll out these games. We got all 6 for you this week because there's only 6. But first one, kicking it off, we got the boys. The West Coast gang. Seattle Seahawks head back to the Bay against the Niners. -9.5 for the Niners. This is a complicated game because the Niners beat them down the first time when they were in the Bay. And then the Niners did beat them, but it was a lot closer when they went to Seattle. But, more often than not, third time, you kind of that losing team kind of has an edge more often than not. Seeing 3 in a row in a season doesn't happen often, but I don't know what to expect out of this game.
So we were talking about it this whole week. Like, the playoffs are just a different beast, or a different animal. And they're much more difficult to pick because sometimes a team like Cincinnati from last year just makes a crazy run, and you can't expect it. And let's face it, you could have picked them against the Titans, sure, but no one really was like, they're going to go into Kansas City and win. Like, no one had that happening, and they did it. So for me, I'm just looking at some trends, trying to get a little basis for where I should be thinking, or trying to get my mind right. Since 2013, underdogs are 23, 15, and 2 against the spread in wildcard games, including 16 and 8 against the spread since 2017. So underdogs having a little bit more success in the wildcard round against the spread. Favorites last year were 5-1 against the spread, though. So let's factor that in. They did have some success last year. This is all courtesy of ESPN. So that is just where my mind is at. All right, so underdogs typically have a little bit better of a shot against the spread. Now we go into this game. Kyle Shanahan 5-1 against the spread in the postseason in his career. We know you said it yourself. 49ers swept the Seahawks, and they'll be the 20th team in the wild card era to face an opponent in a third time after a straight up sweep in the regular season. Those teams in the third game are 9-9-1 against the spread. So there is absolutely no way to differentiate it. I believe that is also from Action Network.
That is a tight window.
I know. So my mind is now thinking, okay, underdogs typically have success, but then you get this stat, you're like, I don't know where to lean. Well, here's where I get you. All right, this is where I get you. This is my last stat. This game absolutely confused me. So I said, I need more stats. I need to get deeper. Over the last 20 years, 15 teams have entered a playoff game on a 10-game winning streak. Those teams are 2-13 against the spread in the postseason. That's all I need to know. I'm following the trend. We got crappy weather in San Francisco and the Bay, Santa Clara. I think it's like heavy rain. It's going to be ugly.
Like the game 1 of the season against the Bears?
It's going to be ugly. So, I love San Francisco. Oops. I love San Francisco. They're my team to win it all. They're at plus 500 to win the Super Bowl. I love that. But in this game, with a 7th-round QB rookie, I got a lot of respect for Pete Carroll, too, in the postseason. I think he knows kind of how to have his team ready to win or ready to compete in this game. And Geno Smith, while he's got his flaws, he's a vet. I'll take the Seahawks plus 9.5. As much as it pains me after last weekend, I'm going to take the Seahawks to cover this spread. I think it's just too many points.
Interesting thoughts, man.
I know. I hit you with a lot of stats.
Seattle.
I don't want to overwhelm you.
Seattle has only has only cashed out once against the spread in their last 8 games, where opposite, the Niners have cashed out 7 of their last 8 against the spread.
Something's got to give.
The 49ers apparently are 12-2 against the spread versus poor passing defenses. And we know how the Seahawks are. They're just not that good on defense in general. But obviously we believe their pass rush is a little worse. But McCaffrey is McCaffrey. The man can throw. The man can return. The man can rush. The man can do whatever you want him to do. He can dance. He can backflip in the end zone, whatever you want. There's a difference when you have a QB who's playing better than expected for an okay team in Seattle with Geno Smith.
Right.
He's playing good, better than people expected, but he still hasn't been like incredible. I mean, I guess I can't directly say that because he broke the single season passing yards record.
For Seattle.
Yeah.
I believe he's got the most passing yards in a season.
But he's got some guys around him where San Francisco, Brock Purdy's got everybody he needs around him on both sides of the ball, and they said, if you rocking with us, we rocking with you.
Yep.
And he's been that guy. He's a smart ball player. He's got veteran experience. Not after we've discussed in the past 4 years at Iowa State.
Yeah.
He knows how the game works. I know he might be a little shaky, but if he's got the boys behind him, he can do this. I was concerned when this was above 10. I was leaning more Seattle, but once it dropped below, I was like, the Niners can do this. I think it might be a 10-point win.
It probably will be. I'll probably get screwed. But I'm honestly the opposite of you. When I saw this was double digits, I was like, I'm kind of leaning San Francisco. When it got under 10, I thought, you know what? It's under 10 points now. Double-digit underdogs are very poor in the postseason. They have a very poor record. I was like, you know what? I kind of like Seattle a little bit more. And it is their third time playing. In San Francisco, at some point, like you said, they're 7-1 against the spread in the last 8. Something's got to give. And Seattle's 1-7. Something's got to give. So I think it's easier to trust San Francisco to cover the spread. But there's also the opportunity for like a backdoor cover that I think 9.5 kind of gets you in a sweet spot.
And Seattle's been playing their games close.
They have been.
Really
they've been close. And that defense, while it hasn't been good for the majority of the season, it's been better lately. So while I do agree, obviously San Francisco is going to win this game. They could easily blow out Seattle too. And I could see a 10-point win. I'm gonna close my eyes and hopefully
a touchdown loss.
Hopefully it's like a touchdown loss
for the Seahawks. I can see that happening. I think it's gonna be one or the other. What you know? It's gonna be. It's gonna be. Oh no! San Francisco got a touchdown. It's 27-20. They're about to cover. Oh, they got the ball back. Field goal. Oh, they win by 10 at the end of the game. That's exactly what's gonna happen to you.
I'm feeling like 20. 3-6. No, 23-7 with about a minute 32 left, and Geno Smith gets a late
garbage touchdown. I was thinking, what if? I was thinking, I was like, it's 2017 Seattle. Purdy leads a touchdown drive, 2 minutes left, and they win by
I don't
4.
I don't think it's going to get that close. I think it's just grind it out. Maybe it's just an ugly game, but I just don't see Seattle's offense having too much success against San Francisco's defense. And truth be told, San Francisco is good enough everywhere else, like you said, to get some points, via Kittle, Samuel, obviously McCaffrey. This should be honestly, this should be a no-brainer Niners pick. I'm just going to go with my gut here and look at that spread, look at the trends. Yeah, let's go Seattle. But I think you have a good pick as well. It's a tough game to pick for sure.
My last statement to you is that 25.7%, that percentage is the percentage of opponents' drives that ended in scores against the 49ers defense this season? A fourth.
That's not great.
So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. On to the next one. Here we go. Game 2. The Chargers in Jacksonville, crazily, is plus 2.5 Jacksonville. Jacksonville smacked up the Chargers in LA early in the season,
They did.
which is crazy. And then you saw the Jags honestly play like garbage for the next like half of the season, and then they kind of whipped it around up and down throughout different games.
Yeah, it was really interesting. After that Lions game, the Jaguars went 5-0. It was like that game kind of snapped them into shape. Like they kind of underestimated the Lions, or maybe just weren't prepared, kind of like the Lions weren't prepared for Carolina. And then out of nowhere, they rattle off 5 in a row, and they're NFC or AFC South champs. So I'm loving the way the Jags are playing. And look, you got two of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL going at this game. Herbert and Lawrence, that is such an electric matchup. This is my favorite game of the wild card schedule here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Look, I got some concerns, though. I got some concerns with both of these teams. Let's start with Jacksonville. I think my biggest issue with them is the way they played against Tennessee last weekend. Or on Saturday.
Just kind of playing like they didn't care.
It came down to a fumble 6 for them to win.
Yeah.
It's just very hard for me to have a ton of confidence in a team when they're struggling against a Tennessee team at home with Josh Dobbs as the quarterback. All respect to Josh Dobbs, by the way. Stand-up
good,
guy,
yeah.
super smart. Rooting for him, obviously, because he's just one of those dudes, but that's just, come on. I need more. Like, the playoffs are on the line. I need more. On the flip side, you have Brandon Staley, who's playing his best wide receiver, arguably, in Mike Williams, in a meaningless game against the Broncos, which they lost, by the way. And now Mike Williams is out with a back injury and I think an ankle injury.
For the playoffs.
For the playoffs. He's done. He's done. They lost their best receiver in a meaningless game. That is 100% on the coach, and that's a fireable offense, honestly. So
They're waiting for it.
I got my grievances out with both these teams. At the end of the day, look, I kind of escape from the young quarterback sensation, and just comes down to head coaches for me. I got one coach that is a complete idiot, doesn't know what he's doing. He's mismanaging his team and roster, and to put it frankly, I think he chokes in big games. Like, I can't really remember a big game that the Chargers have won between the games against Kansas City, the game last year against the Raiders. I just have no faith in Brandon Staley, but I got all the faith in the world in Doug Peterson. Dude's won a Super Bowl. Dude just knows how to win these games. He's been clutch. He got snake bitten out of Philly, really. He was just the scapegoat for what was a really successful team. Look, man, I'm going to take the home team. Home underdogs are really good, too, in the playoffs. I believe they're 6-2 against the spread in the last few years. So I'm going to go with the Jags here. Jags money line is what I'm actually going to go with. I just love this spot for them. I think the Jags are ready for it, and I don't trust the Chargers in a big game minus Mike Williams with a coach that I think is incompetent and should be fired after this game. So I'm going Jags money line. I'm all about Trevor Lawrence. Give me the beautiful golden locks, baby.
Fabio.
Duval. Jags money line. Let's go.
You're right when you're talking about coaches, especially Doug Peterson. The man is 14-4 against the spread as a home underdog over his coaching career.
That's insane. That's a great sign. That's a great trend. That's
You're
a
like,
great
thank
trend.
you for boosting it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I mean, Doug Peterson is a great coach. We witnessed, not that the Jags were truly ready last year, but we witnessed what happens when you have a coach that is not capable of
Right.
being an NFL coach.
Right. Yes.
Sorry, Urban Meyer.
Yes.
But we witnessed what happened there. Trevor Lawrence kind of had to truly grow on his own, not with like somebody behind him
He
believing
didn't have
in
a head
him.
coach last year. He went his rookie year without a head coach.
Absolutely. I mean, and we knew he's a great talent. It's just when do the right pieces fit in? When is someone he can trust be behind him and guide him a little more? The man has everything you could ask for in a starting quarterback, and he's young. He's, what, 24?
23.
23, yeah, 23, 24. He's still so young. And he's got confidence. He's not afraid to run. He's got an arm. He's not, recently he hasn't been making any dumb decisions. And I believe in this kid. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. He's gotten a lot of hate in different times. I loved him at Clemson. I think he's the only Clemson quarterback
yeah.
I was a big fan of. Not hating on. I liked Deshaun at the time, but
I was a big believer in Deshaun, but an even bigger believer in Trevor Lawrence because he had a lot of doubters. Like
he did.
Like
After coming
granted,
back,
he was going to go number one regardless, but he had a lot of doubters. A lot of people were not supporting him, and I don't know where it came from. I think he's got one of those faces that you want to punch.
it's the hair, man. You either love or hate the hair. And
It's
that's
the hair
thing.
and the face. Like I think people just look at him and like, ugh. But no, you're 100% right. He's got it for sure.
The Chargers are the better team, more so against the spread. And it's crazy that during the season, the Chargers have had 5 game-winning drives. But I don't think that's going to happen here. I think you got to agreed. A coach who's on the hot seat, kind of already out the door. They're just waiting to close it officially. But I'm Jags, baby. I'm on the Jags.
Let's go.
I'm on Dougie P.
Dougie P.
Dougie P and Fabio guiding the Jags to the next round.
I think the Jags win this game, and then I believe you're going to see Sean Payton in L.A. next year. Because Brandon Staley will get fired.
I think that's what they're waiting on.
And then Sean Payton will come, and he will save Herbert. Because I love Herbert.
So do I. I agree.
He's a great quarterback. He's got so much talent. But, man,
in that roster, all that money they spent on and trade,
God.
just everything.
Dude, they need a coach.
They need a capable coach, a man who's can make the right decisions.
They need a coach. They need a coach that can lead this team. They don't have that right now. Brandon Staley is not. He's just not a leader. He's not.
He was gifted that team in the same stadium.
It's unfortunate, but
I'm
not complaining. Jags money line. Are you doing money line or just taking the points here?
Do I want to ride with you on the line?
I mean, you're getting plus odds here. I feel like it's like if you think the Jags are going to win this game, I think you just take them. Like I'm not. Like it's a little bit different in the playoffs. Like I'm not really scared that the Jags are going to lose by 1 or 2. Like I'm going to be a little bit riskier with my pick here. Give me the money line. That's how I'm thinking.
They're going to win no matter what.
Yeah, I'm confident in the Jags.
So base of the money line is they just got to win.
Right, that's all it is.
I'm going to ride with you on the money line.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do this.
Jags.
Playoffs. Let's have some fun.
Duval, baby. Do it for Duval.
Duval. It's good to see them back too. They had a good era, and Blake Bortles hurt them, and they fell apart.
They're a fun franchise, man.
I like them better now than I did during that era.
Oh yeah,
personally. I know they had some dogs on their team on both sides, but I like this era better already.
100%.
All right, game 3. This game could be way better, but unfortunately, every player on the Dolphins is hurt.
Yeah.
Both quarterbacks. Elijah Mitchell? Is he hurt too? Or Jeff Wilson? Who's their starting running back right now?
Raheem Mostert is out.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolphins are just collapsing, and everyone's like, McDaniel's got this, boys. He's going to lead us. He knows what he's going to do.
No.
If he doesn't have the quarterback, he doesn't have anything. This team has all the weapons, but if they don't have anyone guiding, they can't do anything. No disrespect to Skylar Thompson, but he's not the guy.
No, he barely.
And neither
mustered.
is Teddy.
No, Teddy Two Gloves is not it, and Skylar Thompson barely mustered 9 points against the Jets. Look, Miami defense. We've talked about it. They don't travel. They're allowing nearly 31 points per game on the road. You got a rookie head coach with a third-string QB. I mean, what are we doing here, honestly? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this shouldn't even be a game. Like, can we just replace Miami with with another team. Like, put Pittsburgh in there at this point. I don't care.
They'd have a better chance.
But in all seriousness, look, teams since 2010 that were double-digit underdogs in playoff games are 2-11 against the spread. That's according to Yahoo Sports. Look, you got a team that has gone through a lot emotionally in Buffalo. They're at home. I'm not even going to second-guess myself here. You get that stat in the postseason. You get Buffalo. They're playing with a lot of pride, and they're playing for DeMar still. Public is heavy on the Bills, 74% per Action Network, but I don't really care. Give me the Bills Mafia here, minus 13.5. I'm taking the 13.5. I don't care if it's a big number. I'll ride with it. I think they win by 21 plus.
Wow. So Buffalo's gone 7-1 at home this season. Well, Miami's gone 3-6 on the road. The Dolphins went 1-4 against the spread against squads that have ultimately made the playoffs. So it doesn't matter who they're going to play. They're just going to be bad. Key thing is passing yards. 399.6 yards per game. The Bills have averaged over their past 3 games against Miami, Chicago, and New England. Miami has gone 1-3 in the last 4 times it's allowed 296 or more yards.
Well, that's going to happen. Josh Allen's going to throw for over 300 for
Absolutely.
sure.
There's not a doubt in my mind. They're ready to roll. It's playoff time. He knows what happened to him last year. It's not going to happen again.
Yep, they're playing for a lot more than just themselves too, which I think just feeds into it.
Absolutely, it's crazy. We've talked. I think I said this last week, but it's unfortunate when bad things happen in relation to teams. But the fuel that it creates is unrivaled.
Right, and I knew it was going to bite the Patriots in the rear, and we just fell into the trap. I'm not falling into the trap this week.
Bills, baby.
Bills, let's do it. Minus 13.5. I don't care if are you scared of 13.5? Like,
I'd take it if it was 20.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. All right. Say no more. On to game 4, man. This game is so, like, we know what's going to happen.
We could just said Bills and walked away.
That's seriously.
It's sad because it could be a better game after what happened last time.
Right.
In Buffalo.
I mean, it was close last.
Yeah, it was. We thought it was going to be a little more, and we lost that one.
I know.
But game 4, the frauds versus the frauds. The Giants in Minnesota again.
Oh my God.
Minus 3 the Vikings. It was a field goal game last time.
61-yarder from Greg Joseph at the end of regulation. They were up, I think, 10 points late in the 4th.
We know how that feels.
Vikings up 10, collapse, but get the lead back and win it. These are 2 teams, like you said, kind of fraudulent. I mean, I think the Vikings are a bit more fraudulent than the Giants are.
Absolutely.
Not that impacts my decision in this game, but I mean, when you are undefeated in 1-score games, like, something eventually has to give. I don't know if this is the week we're going to see, but it just is like, come on, man. Like, seriously? But look, let's do a little statistical analysis here. Giants allowing 5.2 yards per carry. Daniel Jones only getting 6.4 yards per attempt. That's a pretty low total. Good news for the Giants is the Vikings average just 4.1 yards per carry. They have not been able to get the ground game going. We've seen it all season long. It's been Justin Jefferson and recently TJ Hawkinson, who I hate. I despise TJ Hawkinson, but he's been a really nice safety net for Kirk Cousins. He's had a really nice late season push I believe he's a Pro Bowler. He's had a really nice season, but we know how the postseason works. Good teams win in the postseason by either stopping the run or running the football. And the Vikings don't do either. They don't do either. They allow 4.5 yards per carry. It's been worse as of late as well. So behind Saquon Barkley, I'm thinking to myself, there's no reason why the Giants should lose this game. They have the better defense. They have the better run game. And I could see that easily being a formula for success. But that's exactly why I'm not picking them. I don't know what it is. The public is close 50-50 on this game. I'm just beyond annoyed with the Vikings that I'm going to hate pick them here, -3. I think this is just one of those teams that finds a way to win, and we all, the Monday after are just going to be like, man, can they just lose this week? And then they're going to get their doors blown off by San Francisco when they play them. So I'm going to pick the Vikings here. I think they cover the spread. I think they squeak by the Giants. And it's unfortunate because I do want to see the Vikings lose. Like, I don't really want to see the Giants win. I just want to see the Vikings lose. I just don't think it comes this week. I'm going to take the Giants at home or the Vikings at home -3. Pains me to say it, but I'm going to take the stupid purple people eaters and Jay Jettas.
That man's a dog. All respect. I don't know who it was. I can't remember, but I believe it was someone from ESPN. They said, look, the Vikings are such a joke that they're either going to get smacked in the first round or they're going to win it all. Quite a take. Quite a take.
I think that's an overreaction, but
I don't know. It was just that was quite a statement by them. I was like, they're so fraudulent that they're either going to get exposed right away or they're going to go all the way because they're just going to luck.
Yeah,
the luck's going to run to the end.
I can see it for sure.
So the Vikings are 12-0 on the money line as a favorite this season, which is insane. But the Giants are 10-2 against the spread when listed as an underdog and are 8-4 against the spread in conference games this season, which is quite interesting.
That first total is rather interesting.
10-2, man. 10-2. Interesting stat. 5.2. The number of rushing yards per attempt the Giants' defense has allowed this season.
Yep, they've been shaky against the ground, but the Vikings can't run the football either, unless Dalvin Cook finally gets it going. But we've barely seen it all season long.
Him and Alexander Madison have been the same, kind of like all season. The passing game's been carrying them. Justin Jefferson's been carrying this team.
Oh yeah,
and luck.
It's been fortunate plays and Kirk Cousins and Jay Jettas with the addition of Hawkinson. I mean, you haven't really heard much of Thielen. You got a couple KJ Osborne games. I mean, what are we doing here?
I don't know. Justin Jefferson's been eating his cereal every morning. All those Lucky Charms. But all being said, I respect your choice to go with a team that just seems to always get it done. But I'm sick of that crap.
Please.
I'm picking the Giants. I'm taking the Giants +3, man. You want to know why? Because even with this, and even with the garbage they have, it could still be a 31-30 win for the Vikings, and we cover it.
Dude, that's fair.
That's the kind of garbage.
That's fair.
You're going to see them win, and you're not going to cover, dude. That's what's going to happen to you.
Well, that would just be horrible. That would just be horrible.
You're going to see them win and not cover. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, probably, but at the end of the day,
upsetting if it does. I'm going to be
like, I just think the Vikings are just one of those teams where they just luck out. So I'm over them. I'm over them. I'm done. I can't. I'm so sick of that. Please.
Let's get this sickness off the screen.
Please.
And get something to even a little more sickening. The Ravens.
God.
But without Lamar. Game 5, Ravens at Bengals, -8.5 Bengals. It is a juicy one, but no Lamar. Why are the Ravens even here? After the season they've had? They've kind of had a weirdly good but bad season.
Right.
Like they've been playing bad and choking, but they still are, 10-5 getting in here? Or no, more than that. I don't even know what I'm counting.
10-7, I think.
Yeah, but 10 wins after what they've been doing, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of respect for Coach John Harbaugh. I mean, he's been through it. He's been through it this year. I mean, yeah, obviously, but this guy's won a Super Bowl. The front office doesn't want to pay Lamar. Harbaugh knows they need Lamar to win this game. And he's just been fed up. And honestly, I would be too as a head coach because you're trying to win football games and you have two sides between the front office and your quarterback that aren't coming to an agreement. I mean, if Lamar was paid, we know he'd be playing in this game without a doubt. But because he's not getting paid, he's not playing. So now they have to resort to Anthony Brown or Tyler Huntley. I think it's going to be Huntley, but we'll see.
And Huntley is partially beat up.
He's beat up as well. Now, the good thing for the Ravens is J.K. Dobbins. He's been very good as of late. He's averaging 7 yards per carry in the past 4 games he's played in. He got a week off against Cincinnati to rest for this matchup against Cincinnati. But the Bengals are very good against the run. They've allowed just 4.2 yards per carry. There's really no threat of the passing attack in Baltimore, so they can probably dial in on the ground game here. However, no, it's fine.
I'm laughing at something.
The last game they played was last week. We know the Bengals kind of cruised to a victory, and the public is just heavy on them too, 73%. I'm just looking at this game, and it's like, I really don't know what to think. But both of these defenses have been playing well. They're allowing 20 or under 20 points per game in the season. I think you just get a low-scoring kind of AFC North ugly game.
Like a 17-10.
Yeah, where the Ravens
17-13.
just find a way to get under this 8.5 number. I think I'm going to take Baltimore here. I'm going to put my faith in Harbaugh to keep it close, lean on that defense, lean on J.K. Dobbins. I think Cincinnati has what it takes to get back to the Super Bowl, but I think they've been a little bit too arrogant as of late, and I think in a playoff game with a team like Baltimore that is
Familiar with you.
they're familiar and they're relentless and they're going to take it personally. And you know what? They are going to play for Lamar too because that's their teammate and they want to see him out there and they're upset he's not out there, but they're going to still play hard. They're going to bring it. And J.K. Dobbins, he's been a beast lately. He's been a monster. So I'll take the Ravens plus 8.5. I'm going to trust the underdog in this AFC North matchup. I think being in the division helps too. So
They
Ravens
just
plus
played.
8.5. And they did, they just played. So I feel like that helps me out a little bit too, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Ravens 8.5. Let's do it.
Cincinnati's a whopping 12-4 against the spread this season, my friend.
I know they've been the best team in the NFL, or one of the best teams.
You want to know? I was laughing at this because, you get your facts from different places, and I kept this part in, and I didn't even realize it. So this stat, Baltimore's gone 2-2 against the spread since Jackson hurt his knee. But the covers were by the hairs on John Harbaugh's chinny chin chin. Shout out to whoever wrote that because that was funny. Oh. It's a lot to figure out. Can Baltimore take care of the football? Can Huntley or Brown keep up with Burrow in that offense of the Bengals? Can the Baltimore line do well enough, against all that's going on? Stat, 28.7 is how many points the Bengals averaged at home this season. Go for 4th in the NFL. Ravens went 1-5 when they've surrendered 23 or more points this season.
Against the spread? Or just straight up?
I think it's straight up.
Okay.
Straight up. If you ain't with Burr, I don't need to talk. Give me ice. Give me Joe Burr. He's the man. He's the guy. I'm just handing out 10-point wins to all these guys right now.
You are, and I feel like that's a scary game to play. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just one of those years where, kind of like last year, the favorites just kind of rolled.
They know what to do. They know what's on the line. They ain't going to surrender it. He's got this. He's played him twice. I get it's been close, but it's playoff time, and Joe's hungry. Dude lost a Super Bowl last year.
Yep.
You don't think dude's got that back in his mind, just sitting in the back? Dude don't care about the AFC North. He's just rolling with it. He's like, another year. What about it? Here we go.
No, I think it's a good pick. I don't
Give me
have
the Bengals.
any faith in the Ravens, really, but here I am. Here I am picking them.
Here I am once again.
It is what it is, man. I'm putting a lot of faith in these stupid trends, but I don't know. I also think the divisional matchup, I feel like that plays a role into these games being close, especially in the postseason. But We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. But now we are on to the last game. Game 6, the final Monday night game.
Monday night.
I don't like that. I don't like that they don't just do 3 and 3.
I feel that, honestly. The Monday night game is kind of a little off-putting. Like, you got to wait till Monday night.
Yeah,
for the
it's like
playoffs,
just do
but
Saturday, Sunday. You
I
have the
agree.
time. I don't know. I think it's
No,
dumb.
I'm with you.
Anyway, game 6, Cowboys in Tampa against Brady and the Bucks. Potentially another last game for Brady. But he made it back to the playoffs crazily or shockingly. Bucks plus 2.5. I don't like this game. I don't like the Cowboys. I'm concerned for the Bucks. I don't know what's going to happen. No Gronk. It hurts. Do you want me to take this first, or do you want to go first on this?
I got
one?
something quick and easy for you
Go
for
ahead.
this one.
Go ahead.
Let me ease your mind a little bit. All right.
Ease me, baby.
Come into the
Ease.
therapy session here.
Okay, here we go.
Tom Brady is 22-5 straight up at home in the postseason in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I need. Dak leads the league in interceptions despite missing 5 games. The team
Beast.
looks completely different now than it did midseason. And while I know the Bucs offense has concerns, you got concerns with the offensive line. You have concerns with how Brady's been passing it. I don't care. Tom Brady is 7-0 against the Cowboys in his career. And that home record in the postseason, 22-5, I'm not betting against Tom. Bucks money line's my pick. I don't even need the spread here. I'm going with the Buccaneers. I think they get it done, and I think Mike McCarthy is also fired like Brandon Staley. I think you're going to see a lot of turnover after this postseason, and it starts with 2 teams at home that are getting no love as they are underdogs. And like I said, underdogs, they fared well in the postseason, and home underdogs fare even better. So give me the Bucks money line.
I read that beautiful stat earlier on Brady, and it was a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing. 54. Number of sacks the Cowboys defense have recorded this season, third most in the NFL. But, like you said, where have they been the past couple weeks? Where's that defense been? Up and down. The Cowboys are also 2-3 against the spread as a road favorite this season. Disgusting. Dak and his interceptions. What's going to happen? Vita Vea coming back, I believe, for this game. Changes that defense, that defensive line. How's the Cowboys' run game going to go against that? Brady's been finding the passing game with Mike Evans recently. That's a game changer. The Bucks and Todd Bowles are 6-15 against the spread as home underdogs versus the first half line over his career. Crazy. And I didn't believe in Todd Bowles that much this year. For whatever reason, the Cowboys are 18-7 against the spread against conference opponents over the past 2 years. But it doesn't matter. It's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
That's all you
honestly.
need.
That's all I need.
You can look at any team. If Tom Brady's there and it's the postseason, it's there.
Yep.
It's there. There's nothing you need to say. All those stats I said, honestly irrelevant. The first one Evan said is all you need to know.
22-5.
22-5.
That's
7-0 against Cowboys.
That's literally all I needed. And look, I know it's kind of lazy, but at the end of the day, the playoffs more often than not come down to who has it and who doesn't. And we've seen Tom Brady have it many, many times.
That comeback
It's
mentality.
really difficult for me to doubt him now. And to be honest, I think Dak Prescott is playing like the worst quarterback starting in the postseason outside of the Skylar Thompsons and the Tyler Huntleys. Like, he's playing horribly right now. And in 1 week, you expect me to turn around? Look, they played the Commanders, who had nothing to play for, and Sam Howell was starting for them. And they got destroyed. Dak threw the ball 37 times. It's not like he played the first quarter and then went to the bench. He played terrible. And the Buccaneers have a better defense than the Commanders do. So,
And back in Tampa.
and it's back in Tampa, and
Real grass. That's another discussion.
that's been a discussion. I'm not really going to get into it because I don't think field.
I don't think so either,
Like,
but that's just
yeah,
an interesting thing, though.
It is.
I think
The
that's
field
more.
type.
I think that's more of an injury concern than anything.
Right. But yeah, man. End of the day, let's stop playing around. It's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady.
He's him. He's always been him.
Facts.
We know that. Well,
All right.
run it down
I'll
for
run
me,
it
big
down.
boy.
So in the opening playoff game, Seahawks at Niners. I am on the Seahawks plus 9.5. Justin is on the Niners minus 9.5. Saturday night, Chargers at Jags. Jags money line. Me and Justin are both on it.
Yeah.
We like Dougie P.
Sorry, Chargers. I love you and I love Herbie.
Sunday
but,
at
man,
1, Dolphins at Bills. Bills laying 13.5. And me and Justin, we're not
Book it.
scared of the number.
40
we're
to
on
13.
it. We're on it. In the 4:30 window, Giants at Vikings. I'm on the Vikings -3. Justin is on the Giants +3. We'll see how that goes.
1 point win.
That is going to be a scary game, and Justin is probably correct. Ravens at Bengals on Sunday night. Ravens +8.5. That's my pick. Justin's going to Joe Burr -8.5 and the Bengals.
Give me
And then
dice.
on Monday night, Cowboys at Buccaneers. We are both riding Bucks money line, I believe, right?
I'll ride the money line with
All
you,
right,
baby.
so we're both on Bucks money line there. So only against each other on, we're with each other on 3 and against each other on 3. So
Ooh.
it's gonna be interesting.
Can we
It'll
both
be
go
int-
3 and 3? No, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, you could? Yeah.
Yeah,
We both go. That'd be hilarious.
yeah. We just can't go 6
One
and
of-
0. One of us can't. We both can't go 6 and 0.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only impossibility.
Yeah, that is impossible. I was going to say, huh. No, you're right. 3 and 3. Wow, 3 and 3 is the, well, yeah. That's crazy.
So there you have it. I mean, that's wild card weekend.
Ooh, it's going to be a good one.
I think it's gonna be good. I feel like for me, it's been one of the more like underwhelming schedules, just because you have 2 teams with backup quarterbacks. But I still think we should get some good games. And one more time, because I kind of floated it out there. There's 2 props I love: San Fran +500 to win the Super Bowl. But then another one that's a little bit more juicy is San Fran over Buffalo at +2,000. So depending on who you
Wow.
like out of the NFC and AFC, you could find some real value. I mean, if you like Philly and Cincinnati, maybe you go Cincinnati over Philly. That probably has a very nice payout. So check those on whatever betting app you like. I am a FanDuel guy. Not that we're sponsored by FanDuel. We don't
Not
have any
sponsored.
sponsorships. But if FanDuel would like to pick us up at some point down the road, they should know I'm a loyal user. I saw those 2 props, and I really like that. I think I'll probably play a little safer, San Fran +500, but we'll see.
I saw a predictor, and someone said that they got the Bills beating the Niners 33-30 in the Super Bowl in OT. I'm like, wow, that's quite a prediction.
That is scary.
That's a scary prediction.
So yeah, I'm going. I'm gonna place it San Fran +500, and I'll throw a couple bucks on San Fran over Buffalo because I do think Buffalo is going to go to the Super Bowl. So
You're expecting 49ers out of the NFC and Buffalo out of the AFC.
that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, I think Buffalo. I want to see Buffalo win for every reason outside of football.
Would you take a Buffalo? Not saying Buffalo wins a Super Bowl, would you take a Buffalo beats the Chiefs in, say, like the AFC Championship for a Niners loss? But if the Niners win, there's a chance the Chiefs beat the Bills, and you have to see Niners Chiefs again in the Super Bowl.
See, my issue is with Buffalo is I can't guarantee they make it to their conference championship game.
That's true.
I can almost guarantee San Francisco is going to be in it. Because they win this game, they're probably getting Minnesota, or maybe they get Dallas or Tampa Bay.
They're home until they play Philly.
Right. And Philly, I'm not totally convinced is going to win their game because I don't know how healthy Hurts is, and that defense has been very,
Sketchy.
very poor. So I think San Fran is almost, for me at least, they're locked to make the Super Bowl. Like, that's just how I'm feeling. So I'm liking their odds better than
everything.
Buffalo.
They got it all.
They got it all. And I'm still not picking them to cover this weekend. That's okay.
He didn't say they wouldn't win. He said they didn't cover.
No, so I'll play San Fran plus 500. I'll throw a couple bucks on San Fran over Buffalo plus 2,000. But you might as well pick one team now to win it all while you have plus
I'd pick
value.
the Niners. I'd pick the Niners.
Niners or Buffalo? I
agree.
feel like it's going to be one of those two teams. Don't
to
you
me,
think?
it's them, and then I don't want to say the Chiefs at all. So my other team would be the Bengals. Just because. Redemption. You got redemption arc and versus the team for their teammate, you know?
Right.
The story. You have the story versus the redemption.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. A great episode 14. Wildcard weekend.
Yes, sir.
We'll see what happens. A lot
Yes,
can
sir.
happen. A lot can happen.
We're hoping for a lot to happen, hoping for a lot of good football, and most importantly, just hoping that this playoff in general is just as good as it was last year. Because last year we got spoiled.
That was
Hopefully we
crazy.
get a little bit of the same this year.
We just got spoiled in the college football playoff, kind of.
Yeah, we did. We had a 65-7 national championship game. Awesome. No, but you're right. The semifinals
Yeah,
were...
semis were great.
Yeah, they were great.
So hopefully the Super Bowl is better than the national championship.
Let's hope. I would love that.
But anyways, thank you all for watching or listening. Remember to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a like, comments, positives, negatives, your picks. What do you think of our picks? Whatever you want to do, let us know it all.
Yeah, and you can't really roast us for our records right now because we're both over 500.
We up.
Justin is back.
We up. Revenge tour.
I've been staying up, though. I was like in between for a while. I was floating. That was a nice week to have last week, getting back on track, really. Both of us, 5-2 and 5-1. We're
Read the
back.
hat.
Dubs Co.
Read the hat.
Dubs Co.
That is what we are about. We are on the revenge tour. All Dubs. We're going up. That's all I can say.
Let's have a good playoff, man. Let's have a good wild card weekend. It starts today, 4 o'clock, right? Seahawks, Niners. Here we go. Playoffs are here. Let's get into it.
We'll see you next week. Peace.